Hi everybody. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath first. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings, and thank you all so much for joining me. I'm going to roll the die. I have a few messages of the day. I have a union read and a twin flame read, and here go the die for the twin flames. We have the number 12, which is the hangman. We have the planet Jupiter, which is also related to Sagittarius. The hangman is traditionally Pisces, but for me I get Capricorn usually. And then we have Libra here. So the scales. All right, wisdom, balance, and luck. Good luck. And that's been coming up a lot too. So let's see how that plays. I'm going to show you the pictures. Take a deep breath. Okay, so this is the union read. 4D, 5D, 6D, left the feminine, right the masculine, the bridge between and between, the incoming divine feminine, outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energies, and the closing energies. This is the Syrian Starseed deck for both reads. This is the basic read for the read you see in front of you. It's a 7-deck read for the twin flames. And then here is my first message of the day, and that's just the Rider-Waite. It's a laminated deck though. And then we have the Lenormand Reverie deck, message of the day. And in front of you, you have the 7-deck read, which we'll get to after the first couple reads of the messages. Okay, so wow, and also I was just watching Elena Danan's last video. Definitely a must-see about a survivor of many, many years underground and off planet, so you might want to check that out. Yeah, so my first message of the day, which was the Rider-Waite looking cards. I think the deck is called something else because it's laminated, but it is the traditional Rider-Waite pictures. The message of the day was at 9:20, which is the 9 of the Hermit, 20 of the Judgment card. And the first 3 cards out were 3 pages, which yesterday's read was inundated with all 4 pages in it. So again, the children coming out here, the innocence, also lots of messages. I was getting stepping up to the plate to spread the word, a loving message of inspiration. 3 pages can also come up, as in turning the pages, but also the Page of Swords and Page of Wands, protecting the Page of Cups, which is the more vulnerable, the friends, the 3 musketeers or 3 amigos, or abstracts, love, time, and death, or the 3D, 4D, 5D realities. I was getting here the intellect, love, and then the wisdom and inspiration coming up as the 3 pages. Also with DNA strand or tools, and light and or wise counsel or advice, or looking closely at a purchase or something valuable to assess. Justice and the Emperor, the best of friends, soulmates and siblings. Perhaps a business type leader. But I wrote BU, so I don't know if BU means something to someone because I meant to write BUS. So whatever BU means to you. And also Boston just came up the other day, so maybe Boston U. But anyway, business leader and a justice system leader who may be the best friends. And again, this could be a business leader who can use the justice system in his favor because it's his best friend. The King of Pentacles, the lover of the beloved, perhaps partnered or connected with the wounded warrior who's mad at them, while the wounded warrior is staying with the Empress and Sovereign. When the Queen of Cups and the King of Wands and the Devil, or the King of Wands is the Devil, or Capricorn, is waving or temptation, or this could be Capricorn, which could be the King of Pentacles as well, but it's like not expecting these 2 people or 3 people to come over, and the wounded warrior didn't want to be there with these people there. Or this could be the Emperor as well. So being with the wounded warrior was with the Empress and the Sovereign, which is can be really any age, but usually comes up as the older child. When the Queen of Cups and King of Wands came over, along with the Devil or the King of Wands is coming up as the Devil or Capricorn waving, or the temptation. The wounded warrior is mad at the King of Pentacles, the Devil, or both. And that can be the same person. The King of Pentacles can be a Capricorn. Or they're mad at the King of Pentacles for putting them in a situation where the Queen of Cups and King of Wands and the Devil would show up, okay, and not wanting to see them. The Devil could also be the King of Wands, the Emperor, or the King of Pentacles, and multiples of those can be the same person. The King of Pentacles could be the Emperor or King of Wands, and the Empress may be with grown kids here, while the Emperor, which would make them a couple there, with his bestie, right, the business and the justice system guy, and that could be police, government, anything where, somebody could be in somebody's pocket. That's the kind of energy I was getting. But the Empress is with the grown kids, while the Emperor's with his bestie. Whether the Emperor or the Empress are the parents or grandparents here, or the King of Pentacles is partnered or married to the Queen of Pentacles, and neither are sleeping, or they are suffering in silence, or not sleeping together. One is free from this, or the Queen of Pentacles may be dreaming of being free from him. The King and Queen of Pentacles could also just be partners or siblings or soulmate friends, and the King of Pentacles looks fine. He looks like the twin, actually, or just in a very sweet situation as a relationship. He with magical lover, and she desperate to be free from purging, sleeplessness, stress, and nightmare, or him. A wealthy couple, perhaps only together for money or the kids. And then the High Priestess or Pisces, or aide or religious woman that's connected to the Queen of Pentacles, with the Page of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, and Knight of Pentacles all transitioning, or with Dark Knight or Scorpio to the King of Swords, along with the Knight of Wands who's coming in from the other direction, or maybe not coming in with them, not driving with them, something like that. Or Pisces and Scorpio kids are with the Queen of Swords between them, on their way to the King of Swords, with the Knight of Wands or Sag coming separately. The King of Swords surrendered, unable to get out of it, or an intervention here, or this could be a class or a talk with a guest speaker, where a lot of people are coming to listen. Focusing on the Pentacle family in this read, could be 5 siblings as well. The oldest, the King of Pentacles, is good. The oldest Queen of Pentacles daughter perhaps is struggling to free themselves and connected to the king, obviously, but also I think was to the High Priestess. There could be 2 other boys younger, researching and or making an offer or offering help. The Page of Pentacles perhaps has a quiet or silent partner, and the Knight of Pentacles with the Queen of Swords pushy partner to go visit Scorpio, or with Scorpio visit the Knight of Swords with the Knight of Wands, or being pushed to visit a gravesite, or go visit, someone's father or something, or a sibling who's passed. Sovereign sister here may be a mother of 2 grown kids, or sister not talking to the sister's husband, waiting to separate or divorce. The Emperor may be getting the Emperor may be with a friend who's a lawyer, or getting that friend who's a lawyer to approach the Empress, pretending to be the friend when actually they are digging for information at 10:01. Then a bunch of people gather to see what he found out, or this could be a PI, right? So, been hired to get information, or all are telling him the same thing, the King of Swords, but he didn't listen to them. The King of Cups seeing the Knight of Swords, or a biting message from Pisces, Divine Feminine Twin, or the world at large, or the neighborhood perhaps, with an ultimatum of 2 options, and the ultimatum came up yesterday as well. Cancer or Warrior, or Pisces, to drive over or travel to the Queen of Wands, as the Knight of Cups offers a bit of love or proposal, even if the Queen of Wands here looks the other way. Or the King of Wands wants the Queen of Cups, and the Knight of Cups wants the Queen of Wands, when it's meant to be the other way around. The Knight of Cups with the Queen of Cups, or actually the King of Cups also with the Queen of Cups. The Knight could just be their child, or that could be their action. And the King of Wands should be with the Queen of Wands, or the King of Cups does want the Queen of Cups and is sending the Knight of Cups child or messenger to offer love to the Queen of Wands, and or just sending condolences to them. And the King of Wands sent the Knight of Wands to see the King of Swords along with the Knight of Pentacles, or lots visiting the King of Swords to see how they're doing while the Knight of Wands is taking care of them. So that's a fiery energy. Cups and Wands are all dispersed. Those are not like families hovered together. They're all separate. But the King and Queen of Pentacles and the King and Queen of Swords are dealing with each other, with their kids off doing their own thing if they are kids or with kids. So the second message of the day was from the Lenormand Reverie, was at 12:04, which is the Hanging Man and the 4 of the Emperor. The underlying energy was the Fox, and the first card out was the Anchor and then the Rider. So the fox with nothing to lose, looking behind them or trying to see if they're being followed, leaving behind the nest, which is comfortable, cutting cords so they can go on an adventure, or knowing that there's always a place to return to. 2 as 1 hearts meeting with their soulmate means that they also have to put up with petty annoyances or people around them they don't necessarily want to see, or rugrats, messes, or those who want to take from you, with a need to look closer, or there may be some fear that those energies that you don't really want to see that are around the person you do want to see will force you to see closer, or force you to choose a new door for yourself, with the Power Lady committed to the letter, document, contract, writing, or communication, and exposing all, or a day in the sun, before getting cracking, with child or pup wanting you to deliver them or take them out, or they see you as a gift, helping with their directions to a loving connection without being burdened by petty things. Traveling to the mountains perhaps, flying, or on foot or road, or just the destination is the mountains, getting ready to open a new door or temporary place before a solid start around September 6th with the new moon going. It's the night of the 6th, they're going into September 7th, 8th, and 9th to get going at the new moon. The mid-moon is very calm, August 29th, 30th, and 31st, as the Power Lady is taking a chance, committing to loving man, or a balanced risk, or balancing between risk and no risk between them, with communication and the powers that be, and the twin bridges through the fun house at 12:21. And the fun house was coming up as that energy of Hotel California, right? You can check in, but you can never leave. So 12:22 is the Hanging Man and the 22 of the Fool's Journey. Or somebody just might be impatient to get there, and then perhaps a child not wanting to leave the hotel, or a fortunate gift, or lots of lucky plants and flowers, or it's just nice to be there, having not known what to expect. Stars, dreams, healing direction with wise owls to guide when they run into a snag. Looking at travel timelines of the country life, the Power Lady concerned about needling issues and rule changes, a commitment to a risk regarding toxins and snakes, perhaps biting them in the butt, with a written letter for backup if needed. For loving man and mama bear refusing to be pushed around by the powers that be, supporting the child through exposure and bridges to cross spiritually, maturing and diving deep, for clean well water as well, with soulmate connection and clear direction to go south or southwest for dreams and abundance, with wise guides helping to separate the wheat from the chaff, with a power man impatient dealing with birds, chatter, or online communities, or researching community before moving into a home, and dealing with red tape. or unraveling red tape of risks, details, and the unknowns, with writing to crack codes, getting keys for rites of passage, spiritual breakthroughs for peace, and finding the perfect place to nest your golden egg and breathe the good-ass prana and clear water, sometimes a deliverance or delivery, or deliverance of backwoods area at the Y in the road, may be a gift of nature at 1237, which is the Hangman and the King of Cups. So of course that was Ralph, the good-ass prana, but that was coming up on purpose. Yeah, but listen to Elena Danan's video about Mark Domizio, who's a survivor of the bases, the Diego and Dulce bases, I'm not sure how they pronounce it, which are in the Indian Ocean below India and also at the Mexico-Colorado border, if you want to check that out. Yeah, a lot of details in his story, so I think you'll be a little bit amazed. So let's get into the union read here. 6:44 last night was the union read. 4D, 5D, 6D for today, which is the 21st. So today adds up to 34, which is the 8 of Wands, which is the energetic exchange, a lot of communication or travel back and forth, a lot of energy in general. The 5 of Cups, the underlying energy. The middle card is the abundance card, and then the Page of Cups at the end. Grieving or hiding out of the sun or counting to 5. Abundance of the mother lode, and the Page of Cups, who's innocent and sweet, happy with their heart open wide after hanging low with their tongue on their upper back teeth. Mother and child excited and open to all. The incoming divine feminine here is Indigo, 8 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles. A proposal or offer, home or new life, and Indigo working to build a new life. The 4D here is the shadow, guidance, and the 8 of Swords. The divine feminine shadow web, the divine masculine hiding by the creek and feeling their way through. Bridging with guidance and commitment, and Buddha too. The 5D here is the 8 of Wands, the abundance card, and the 6 of Pentacles. The divine feminine in energetic exchange with lots of back and forth at 0 point, always coming back to 0 point. The divine masculine balancing and sharing, or weights and measures to feel what's good, bridging with mother who's open to all. The 6D is the King of Wands, Ace of Wands, and Page and 5 of Wands. The divine feminine with the King of Wands shaman. The divine masculine with fans waving and bridging with the Ace of Wands, passion that's ignited. The divine feminine with the shadow and the sticky web in energetic exchange with the King of Wands. The divine masculine hiding or stressed, sharing or settling out with waves from their fans. The bridge is the guidance from God and Mother and new passion ignited. The outgoing divine masculine is the Queen of Cups, 3 of Wands, and the Ace of Swords, with the Queen of Cups present to the moment and to the flame, open to a gift, their gifts with truth about to rise to the surface as the Page of Cups with their heart open wide is making a splash. And at 9 o'clock right here, a siren was going off like right down the street. A lot of source energy behind the Hermit, or the 9, which is the collective consciousness, the wise one, the endings, the compassion. The divine feminine had Gemini or Virgo on their side with Capricorn and the King of Wands. The divine masculine had no major arcana on their side with the Queen of Cups and Page of Cups. And then between them were 2 Tauruses ignited. So it was very interesting because when I was working on the union read, I was going back and forth with my daughter, texting, because she was looking at a place to live, and it was so interesting because as soon as she like sent me the information about this place, and then I saw the price, I was looking at something else that just came in a text, and that text was from the phone company saying the price, or thank you for paying the bill, which was the exact same price of the place. And then you know how sometimes you text in and it changes the word to something else. And I texted in, I think it was like T-Mobile or something, and it changed it to So Robe, S-O, and then Robe, like R-O-B-E. And then I read something online that was just talking about a statement about when they touched Jesus's robe. And then instead of prior, it texted in prio, P-R-I-O, which actually means priority. So everything was syncing in a positive way for our conversation there. It was very cool. Yeah, everything's so like instant right now. So now we have the read in front of you, which is the twin flame read. It is a general read, so don't force it to fit if something doesn't resonate with you. There's a lot of messages here and energy. It was cut and dealt at 9/11 last night. 9 is the Hermit. 11 is the Justice card of truth and balance. At 9:20 of crystals came up. Again, crystals is crystals, so purging, but also being Christ-like. And ALS came up again, so autoimmune issues, ALS, those kind of things may be coming up. Also being like something but not actually it, so cloning can be coming up as well. And then I finished clarifying at 9:33, which is the Hermit and the Christ vibration, the Seven of Wands, standing up for yourself without getting defensive. So we have major arcana here of abundance, which is the Empress, karma, which is judgment, guidance, which is the Hierophant, and the Starseed, which is the Fool. Before the read was the Chariot and the Star, and after the read, Ascension, which is the World in this deck. 1 cup, 2 wands, 2 swords, and 2 pentacles in this read. So very well balanced with 1, 2, 2, 2. And that's also the 12 and the 22, again, of the Fool's Journey, and the 12 of the Hanging Man. We also had triple fives and triple nines in this read. And that's all about a lot of change with the fives, which can really knock you off balance. So again, reminder to come back to center again. And then the triple nines, needing a lot of compassion, whether it's for yourself or for others. Needing a lot of compassion with all this change going on, right? A lot of patience is needed here. We have 59 of the Five of Swords, which is the war within. The 9-10, begin again. Again, as soon as you expand, come back to center again with the expansion of the 89 and Phi. We also had 56 here of the Two of Swords, 68 of the Page of Pentacles, and the number 1 in a lesser sense. So again, we're still working on going from the endings into the new beginnings, but we're more focused on the 5s and the 9s today, so it's kind of like a distraction from transitioning to the new cycle. And the 5s have to do with a lot of change, and so do the 9s, because that's endings. So there's a lot of compassion that's needed right now. So rebirth is the code line, but the H was separated, so it was coming up as rebirth, which was reminding me of way someone Irish would say rebirth. So Irish, a couple different countries were coming up here. Irish, French, and Japanese were coming up here. So that may be significant to you guys out there. The messages were coming up. The code line was all about the number 75 from 65 and 10. 65 is actually the King of Pentacles, which came up significantly in the read, in the message of the day. 10 is that Wheel of Fortune or destiny or that high vibration trill. 75 is the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles in the Sirius Darcy deck is the Divine Feminine's heart in the E Tower, like Rapunzel in the E Tower, or the 5D Tower. So we had triple fives, triple nines, and 1, 2, 2, 2, which is triple twos. And then at 9:47, a helicopter flew by really close again. So there's a lot of flying traffic and ambulance sirens, but then again, we are approaching the full moon. Would that be today? Tomorrow, I think it's the full moon. On the 22nd. So the messages that came up from this read, and it was all about rebirth. So again, the transition from the ending to the new, but today you're kind of distracted from the transition because of all of the ending stuff that's going on and the changes that are causing people anxiety and stress, right? So it's about not allowing yourself to go there. Just stay present and be calm and help others with that calmness by you being calm. All right, so we have the messages here. To see the egg. The egg's been coming up big this week, and Agaros was coming up, as well as some other things that egg was relating itself to. But it's also about the egg and the mother and the relationship of that. To see the egg and rely that the egg is reliable or dependable on the aid of the 65 or the King of Pentacles, and the Master of Wands or Flames. The Sophia high vibration, perhaps 9-inch nails is coming up too, which references Jesus on the cross, but also it can regard here a grandmother who's got 9-inch nails, or somebody who digs their nails into their kids when they're mad at them, because I've definitely seen that before. And Irish coming up there too. Also, to see if the eye priest gets their restraints removed or receives a stay, right? So that's like someone on death row who gets off of death row, right? So they can prove that they're innocent. To see if eye priest, this also can be, like an online priest can write you an exemption. That's going to come up as well. And then lovers and free to expand, the King of Wands and the Sophia heavenly spirits in a rebirth. To see the eye, and against the lowercase I, which is representative of the chakra system in the third eye, and the fidelity, the faithful, to be allowed out, the omen of the King of Pentacles, mastering drama and passions with the Sophia, the heavenly spirit from Buddha's heaven, or Sophia's high vibe grandmother here. Sudden events here with the egg or the mother and credit, but again that has to do with being credible, reliable, or dependable, or faithful to the abbot to get them out. So again, someone's relying on the church to help them out of something, whether that is an exemption or something else. To not depend or I have the pine tree here too, which again is representing the third eye with the pineal. The voice, the sound, the fire of the expansion and contraction, where the abdomen aids, right? Because the abdomen expands and contracts, the muscles help you to breathe more deeply. And that's why I try to get you guys to breathe every time I come on, because you really need to get those deep breaths in to wake up all of your cells, because we don't breathe enough to be fully awakened, okay? You must breathe deeply every day. The guys who dive into the freezing cold water say like you should breathe 10 to 20 deep breaths every morning or hyperventilate, and you'll never get sick, because you're actually getting enough air in you to get into all of the cells, not just, the immediate area cells, as opposed to getting into the tips of your body, really oxygenating every cell. So again, the abdomen is playing into that with the muscles of your abdomen to really breathe, expanding and contracting, getting aid if you need it. The King of Pentacles and the King of Wands both coming up here, or lovers' freedom and mastering of their passions with the Sophia heavenly spirit, and rebirth with an H, which is the H is the lap dance of the 44. It's the 3D dance as opposed to the 8 of the 5D dance. So the first card in the underlying energy here was the Abundance, or the Empress card, upright. And beneath it was the Chariot reversed, the Star card upright, the Page of Wands upright, 8 of Wands upright, that energetic exchange, and then the 5 of Pentacles reversed. So perhaps a broken star, or broke down to heal. The Page of Wands inspired by energetic exchange, or lots of back and forth regarding communication or travel. To recover from exile, perhaps with a mother, or Gaia, or abundance, detoxing chaos and needing to swallow their pride. With Aquarius and Capricorn both reversed here, or coming clean, or cleaning up their act, or space, insecure, seeing synchronicities, or without tools on how to pick which one, or with heaven in their eyes. Issues at work with the High Priestess, secret health care or aid, psychic abilities, and the King of Wands upright, who's drained or overexposed and no longer bored, offering a new life or time, money, or effort, feeling burned perhaps, or maybe felt screwed over, having to start over and offer a new life with the heat on and no sunshine or no white horse. I was just getting the White House as well. 1030 is the Wheel of Fortune and the 30 of the Union, the home. The Page of Pentacles opportunity to align with independence or sovereignty with issues at work or in coming together to plan. A few coins perhaps set aside for Independence Day to work more creatively and getting to know each other. Calling in your soulmate. New love at the present, romantic tie or a gift, strong but lacking faith in implementing a plan or investing. Patience with number 2, and beneath that was pride, number 19 of the sun. Palm trees and foolish behavior, or strong-armed and embarrassed themselves. No more karmic ties here. The snake tripped them up, forced them to drink the water, refusing to sleep with them then. So this could be a couple too where one drank the water and one didn't, so they refused to sleep with them because you can literally transfer the effects that way. So the fine line that they crossed was coming up here, and shady business as well. And this could be doing stuff like that and not telling someone, just like it would be like, you know, getting an abortion and not telling your partner that you were pregnant if you're married. So 1057 is 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, 57 of the Three of Swords. And then frustration coming up here. And that can be a lack of inspiration. That can be a lack of understanding, not able to understand something or conceptualize something, or not able to conceive. Dissatisfied in a heated exchange with delays or not telling their true feelings, perhaps left for dead and walking away, leading the way to lovers, one of great affection, which can be your child. Leaving to go on a journey of divine lover, but the shadow people in the way, and that could be the fans, right? The one who like to give you lots of attention that you love so much, but the shadow people are ones in the way from getting to the person you really want to be with. The mess and the poop in the yard, perhaps left behind in order to go after the Lemurian lover. So lovers, twins, Gemini, Empress, or abundance, offering a new life to business. Someone could be offering help to a business that's struggling, or to implement a plan with, I'm just getting Palestine, I don't know why, I actually wrote patience here, but Palestine's coming up. And so again, someone may be like an Empress energy, that could be a twin or somebody else or a mother, offering new life to a business and to implement a plan or invest with patience, perhaps disappointment in separation or someone's heartbroken, with a secret falling out in the past. Going forward after this read is the energy of lacking faith or falling on your face or from grace at home, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, receiving big love from Dark Knight, transition, ending, or Scorpio, in need of peace, may be feeling insecure without tools at 1111. The Queen of Swords reversed, I just whistled, with happy ending or an emotional cycle that's done. The recent past here is the guidance card reversed. Maybe there's no guidance here, perhaps on a journey of dissatisfaction or not getting their way, and some obstinance here as well. Perhaps refusing to budge, which also could be Taurus energy reversed, or somebody with Taurus in their chart and it's not their sun sign. But again, maybe someone refusing to budge or blocking them, difficult kids or falling out in the past, knowing and keeping to themselves with negative self-talk after a war, and that could be the war within, so could have just been not seen on the outside, but it can be seen on the outside as well. Could be a lot of harsh words. With the Empress, juggling or performing, aligning with recovery, grieving a loss, regret of the journey that has been taken. The Foundation is karma reversed, needing to swallow their pride, or an Aquarius reversed, receiving passionate advances from the warrior on the warpath, or broken in chaos. Perhaps car issues, or broke down, or hurt badly, betrayed, or ending pain, with the Ten of Cups, family upright, or end of an emotional cycle, letting go to fix or make amends. The central energy here is the Five of Cups, upright, somebody grieving loss, regret, over isolating, coming out, rising above, or awake and coming out, receiving big love from imprisoned Knight of Swords, who may be uncomfortable here, or refusing to walk away, challenged by the King of Wands upright, rejected, vulnerable, or whose child is vulnerable, and their heart broken. The Knight of Cups offering love to the Divine Feminines, or the world. The High Priestess secret, Mary Magdalene, and Jesus awakened here, literally was coming up here. That doesn't usually come up for me. But again, this could be Mary Magdalene, Jesus as the template of the twins awakened, the Hierophant reversed player falling short, or spiritual and paralyzed by their passions. The King of Wands affections for the Queen of Pentacles reversed in the past, in disconnect or at a distance, and surprised about bleeding out. And two, when something like this comes up with a bleeding out, I mean, it can be someone who got hurt or, you know, emotionally bleeding out. It could be surgery, someone having surgery, but also it could be you watching a movie where someone's getting killed or something like that. So sometimes that will come up as well. So again, the Queen of Wands affections for the Queen of Pentacles reversed in the past, but in disconnect or at a distance, surprised bleeding out was destined. On the journey to the Emperor reversed, who may be out of control, gone along with the Queen of Wands reversed after sudden event, epiphany, or sexual exchange, and choosing a new path, the X factor coming up here. Now here's the Nine of Swords reversed, ending the suffering in silence, or perhaps dealing with a sister, with the whole truth, to disconnect couple, finding a way out from rejection at work with lover. The Queen of Cups in need of peace, and the King of Wands suffering in silence at the present time, recovering from exile without affection or in a breakup, closing the distance gap, but is feeling dissatisfied by that, with the King of Pentacles hero at home with justice to save the day, as I heard distant sirens far away at 12:06, the Hangman and the Lovers, while the Hermit is missing their flame. No more sharing codependencies between multiple people here, and a negative past. Implementing a plan to heal or to be stars of dysfunctional family, business, or community, or spread lots of money or spend lots of money, standing up to the King of Cups reversed, perhaps with cancer in their chart, or perhaps dealing with cancer, perhaps was over-radiated or burned, or deceptive and egotistical, or with condition that was destined. Cancer reversed, Leo reversed, and Libra upright here. Soon as the starseed reversed in a fall, in a losing battle with cancer, whether that's radiation or with a cancer person, or kids out of control, overexposed Leo, and dark night, death, ending, or transition here, through uncomfortable emotions at 12:11, after a sudden event, with twin or forced to choose, and offering a new life or paybacks to the King of Swords reversed, who's complete, or with sealed divine feminine or Pisces not sharing with the King of Swords reversed at 12:12, which is the Hangman times 2. Fire sign may have embarrassed themselves. The twin flames are seeing themselves as the Knight of Swords upright, the messenger of truth, the knight in shining armor. That's also considered greased lightning, the catapult, dumping a load, getting up and performing, taming the beast, and patient angel, perhaps scammed or dealing with an inequitable situation, or not sharing with each other, by the Queen of Pentacles reversed, starting over. We have retreat here, and let your friends help you, and love yourself first. Around the twins, or how they're seen, is the Six of Cups reversed. Again, dealing with inequity, imbalance, scam, debt, not sharing with each other. Of the Queen of Wands reversed, the Emperor reversed, the Queen of Swords reversed, and the Page of Cups reversed, all codependent on each other. The block here being the Ten of Wands reversed, going back downstairs or going back down to the dungeon. So for people who have been abducted, that could be a big fear for someone, being forced to go back to the dungeon. So I think that's a wound that's coming up for some people, even if you haven't experienced it in this life. You may have wounds of being abducted as well. The Ten of Wands reversed, back downstairs with the King of Swords reversed and the Page of Wands, inspired to come together with rebirth, but even more so personal growth and spiritual career. The Grim Reaper with a big scythe and a little bow, and the Page of Swords reversed without a leg to stand on, or a lot of negative self-talk. The King of Pentacles surrendering to the fall, or in the fall, drained, overexposed, with the Emperor reversed and the Queen of Wands reversed, avoiding having to choose a dark past. The King of Pentacles and the King of Wands are upright next to each other in energetic exchange. The King of Cups is reversed with the Emperor reversed, which may be two leaders of the families or egotistical men in the fall. Cancer, Leo, and Aries times 2 are all reversed. Libra's upright, and Scorpio is both upright and reversed here. The King of Pentacles is with the Sovereign, which is the Nine of Pentacles, which can be an older child. And the Nine of Wands reversed, the Wounded Warrior, surrendering at 12:21, or giving up, or into a big passion that's been ignited. Ending conflict with the World Complete at 12:22, the Hangman, and the Fool's Journey. The World Complete with the Empress upright on top of the reed at the end here. A broken star inspired by energetic exchange, or the arrows of love. The Hermit recovering from exile of the group with the Empress, and abundance, reversing karma. And the Knight of Swords not sharing and without guidance, grieving loss and regret, and challenged by the King of Wands, falling, or knocked in the head, or knocked for a loop, or being loopy, fearing going back down to the basement, suffering in silence, or dealing with sister, and that could be a nun as well who used to whack them, with the King of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles, and the Wounded Warrior reversed and surrender to their passions in a losing battle of ascension and coming full circle with the Empress. Abundance, or Empress, but without guidance here, and they're both Taurus energies, a lot of Taurus energy here. Or divorced lovers, there could be one Taurus and one who's got Taurus in their chart as well, with the two the Hierophant and the Empress. Or Taurus upright and Taurus reversed, like I said. Lovers, or Gemini here, reversing karma, or turned over their mother's car, grieving a loss, regret, and challenged by the King of Wands, who made them do it, or embarrassed and sent to the dungeon, right? Or sent to the corner. That can be a wound regarding that. To suffer in silence with the King of Pentacles and Akashic Records, sovereign in surrender, ignited by the never-ending battle with the World, Pisces, and or Divine Feminine at 12:32, which is the Hanging Man, and again the journey of the Six of Wands. Journeying on. So let's go ahead and pull a few oracle cards to wrap this all up. Starting with the Animal Spirit deck, which I love so much, at 3:31 on the clock, which is 42:13 too, here inverting the 31. So that's the 3 of the Empress and 31 of the 5 of Wands, and then the 42 of the 2 of Cups, with the 13 of Death and transformation, transition. And 42 with the 2 of Cups came up with that robe situation earlier. I talked about too. The touching Jesus's robe. And then my phone changing a word into so robe, which is the touching of Jesus's robe to heal themselves. All right, so what does the Animal Spirit deck have to tell us? What's our takeaway from this read today? Okay. We have the Oyster, which was like the last card that came out yesterday, which is about being clammed up, right? Clammed shut, not talking, hiding out, doesn't want to be bothered. They got their feelers out so they can sense what's going on, but until they sense the energy's cleared from all this darkness, they're not coming out. That's the energy I'm getting from this. And this, I was just getting stuck inside these 4 walls, sent inside forever, never seeing no one nice again. So again, I was just talking about the tunnels with the abductions. So this is energy of that as well. And then we have the dragonfly, like, oh, to be free again, right? The dragonfly, and Spirit's connecting with me. And again, this is the energy of water, but also the feminine, the blue throat chakra. And the dragonfly. And remember, the dragonfly they mate in a pulsing heart. It's very beautiful, actually. I'm getting the oys too. Who says oys? Someone who says oi all the time. I don't know who that is. A grandmother's coming up in the read too. So it could be a grandmother who says oi, or someone says oy vey, or so dragonfly and 0 point. I'm also getting dragon as drag on and fly. Then we have the hyena. It's a very different combination of energy than we've been having. Oi, Dre, hyena. Getting doctor there too. Look, oi, doctor, hyena. And the hyena, like, you know, they could be a smartass, right? They make fun of other people because of their own insecurities, right? There's like half dark, half light. They don't know which side they're on. They're sitting on the fence there. Dr. Hyena. So there's like Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Jekyll and Dr. Hyena here. They're switching it around a little bit. But we're saying, oi, Dr. Hyena. This is pretty funny. So tell me what comes up for you from that, because that's a little bit different than usual. And then these two guys are coming up together. The sea serpent is the sacral chakra, so creativity, sexuality. But again, there's that balanced energy of color here with the blues and greens. It's very centered, and there's blues and greens and yellows here too, showing a very balanced energy, that it's not polarized. Okay, so notice that these are very balanced and polarized, but notice they're trying to show you that the energy is not sealed around the world, and that the collective is not awakening, that the dark world order has control right there. But this is an illusion. It's not true. They're trying to fake out the innocent, like deer, or the dear ones. But also the unicorn third eye was coming up also is very important to make sure you meditate and connect with your higher self. On the 22nd, we're supposed to have an opportunity to like confirm that we want to connect more with our higher selves. And you can watch Sam the Illusionist on some of his channelings. We were talking about this, and that his last video had said that the first month through September 20th was to ready yourself, if you choose to do this, so that you will be able to connect. They will be able to upgrade your body, your right side of your brain, so that it will be more awake and aware than the left side, which is more the intellectualizing side. So yeah, it's a very important time right now to make sure you meditate. But yeah, watch this video. It was really important. And I was talking about the teeth again, where he's talked about, you know, they're just techniques to focus so that you don't get distracted and you can empty the vessel, you empty the mind. And so he was talking about, the channeling was talking about another technique to kind of shut off your left brain, so that your right brain will have more control. And that was just keeping your tongue on your back teeth. But yeah, watch his video. It was good. All right, so I'm going to show you these next three cards just because they're showing you kind of like some dark energies. Usually this is a very spiritual, profound card, but I'm getting more of the reptilian energy coming from this, and also the stinger from the stingray, and the fish who just won't stop. You see all the dark energy coming off of here. I want to show you the other cards again too. Hold on. The bottom of the deck is the starfish, which is superficial energy. It's about like the star who gets lots of attention, but they're shallow because they've always had things their way. And then the hummingbirds right behind them, which is, you know, exuding that rainbow light to transmute all this dark energy around them. So, and the star doesn't have a lot of dark around them because they never worry about anything, right? Because they assume that everything is always good because everyone always does things for them. But that's kind of the way you need to feel, right? So that, not superficial, but that energy of neutrality, so that you don't bring in dark energies around you, right? So this one's actually transmuting the energies, but this is kind of like a mixed bag because they kind of have a neutral energy anyway, because they expect things to go their way, which you want to have a positive attitude. So in that sense, it's a good energy. But the superficiality can be a negative energy as well. But they're bringing up just to make you understand the energy of being more neutral and positive. So and the bird just hit the front window. So there's your hummingbird. It's like the hummingbirds hitting their head on the wall with the starfish because they're superficial. They keep clearing their energy, but then they keep doing the same thing over and over again. That's what I'm getting. But look at this. Look at the colors from these first cards, right? This is all dark. There's some rainbow energy here, but it's little specks of it. It's mostly still dark that needs to be transmuted. And they obviously don't feel like they can transmute this energy themselves, so they're staying clear until the darkness clears. Again, the dragonfly is mixed like the starfish. They have the same background. All right, so they kind of have that idea of neutrality. This one's more a little bit lower because this is the solar plexus, whereas this is the throat chakra and the heart. So this is like a little bit more high vibration than this one. But this one at least has a positive outlook because they always get their way. But what happens when all of a sudden they don't get their way? That's the problem, because they're not programmed for that. So again, these two are very dark energies over here. This one's hiding from the dark energy. This one's still a part of the dark energy. And then this one's, trying to be more neutral. It's just showing you it's better to be this than hide away or be in negative energies. Try to stay in a positive way. Assume that things are fine. That was another message that Sam was bringing up in his channeling, was about how to undo the effects of you-know-what. So just go ahead and watch his video because I don't want to give away all of his information. But yeah, that was good too. And again, everything's intention. Using your intentions and what you believe is what your reality will be. So for the superficial star, then when they assume everything will always be good because everyone is at their service, they always bring in positive energy if they stay that way. But what happens all of a sudden when something doesn't go their way, they don't know how to deal with that situation. That can put them in a really low place to bring in really dark energy. So you don't want that. You want something that's very solid and moderate, stable, where you're very positive, because you know everything is well in every moment. Being present in the moment. It's a very spiritual practice to stay present in the moment. So these guys were coming up as that darker energy around this one with a lot of dark energy around them. They can't stop. So as opposed to the oyster who's clammed up and hiding, the fish is just, swimming all around and won't stop because they don't know how to settle into these energies, but they don't know to hide from them as well. So again, this is that lower chakra energy of the red. It's like being transmuted right here, but then the fish gets stuck in the dark energy and they're trying to run away from it, but they can't find a place to hide. Like there's no way to run, there's nowhere to hide. And then we have the stingray here who's being activated, right? They're getting plugged in, and this was going into, whose mouth was it? Oh, the vulture's mouth yesterday. Getting plugged in right into the vulture's mouth. It's like smoking. But here today we have the dragon. So the vulture, can reference reptilian energy as well, which is coming up here. And although this is more lower chakra energy, there is a little bit of going into the heart energy down here, which can be hybrids as well, right? Because there's reptilian in humans as well. So it's all in the eyes. It's saying if they're dark or light by the eyes, Does it make you feel good looking at them, or does it make you feel dead or you don't want to be in that energy? Use your intuition. It's very important. And don't judge anybody. You just don't need to stay in their energy if their energies don't feel good to you. All right. So then the journey of love. And this just flew out. Man of the earth, one of the sky, 48 is that walking away within. And again, this is that energy of being on the fence, right? Being partly in the cyclone, but testing the waters into the vortex here with their hair. But the hair is also a connector to the etheric realms, so along with water. So I'm going to put this back into the deck, see what else comes out. It's the 48 is the walking away and within. When you're triggered or you're not sure, that means to not make a decision. Take a nap, meditate, go out for a walk, take a bath in salt water. Clear your energy in that way. And there will always come the right time. Don't ever feel like rushed into something. Someone who's of the light won't rush you. They won't push you to make a decision. They'll know it's always up to you to make that decision. They won't feel the need to push you into something. All right. From the journey of love. Journey of love. What is our final energy, our takeaway from this twin flame read? And here we have Essential Awakening. So 64 is the 10 of Swords energy of ending pain or painful endings, but it also has to do with the Essential Awakening, which has to do with the bliss. Because when the swords fall out, that's when the bliss sets in. So we also have the choice here. It's always your choice on how you want to perceive it. And there's a lot of similar energies here. And I'm getting the notes, like the 8th or 16th note here, the 8th note. And then here we have the Sleeping Beauty as well. So again, rest was coming up as important this week. It's so important for you to rest with the upgrades that are happening to your body. And then you see the underlying energy is now matched with the next card coming out, the Swan, keeping things very simple, black and white, and light with the feather, right? Because when the feather falls, it doesn't matter because the feather, it just falls gently. The 14 of the Temperance card, the higher love. Keep it simple, keep it light. Keep it pure and beautiful like the dove and the swan. Okay, the 67 is the humble servant, the Knight of Pentacles, and the higher love. So that's an important message that's coming through here too. So the first card out from this deck was the Essential Awakening, but we had that 48 too, of walking away and within, and not sitting on the fence, right? Not sitting in the place of confusion, right? Don't sit on the fence. If you're not sure, don't do anything, but also, you know, you might want to take a nap or meditate or go for a walk. Don't sit in that uncomfortable energy if you don't have to, but don't judge it either. You know, love that energy, and if it needs to just pass through you, allow it to pass through you. Just be that empty slide inside where it just can go right through you. But it's okay. All of it's okay. You don't need to label all of the energies you go through. Remember that you're a circle of energy, right? So the energy is a circle, so it goes up like this, right? So it always backtracks and goes back down again. So you may feel really good one day, and then you're going to feel it go back down again, right? Because we go in cycles, just like the retrogrades. But it's going higher and higher, and you're not going back down. You're only going back down a little bit to gain momentum to go up again. So remember that as soon as you hit a peak or a high day, well, it may slow down a little bit. So, you know, just feel accordingly into what that is, but you know that it's going to go back up again. Don't go into fear that, oh no, it feels bad, what's going on, what's going to happen. You don't need to feel that. You just need to know it goes in cycles because you're in energy loops. And again, it's all about just not being in fear. And if you do go into fear, just allow it and love yourself. Don't judge any of it. Just be and breathe. Right? Focus on one thing. When you focus on one thing, it helps empty your mind and your body so that spirit can flow through it more. All right. So we have Essential Awakening, the bliss state of the 64 of the pain going away. That it's always your choice to be in a prison or to be in release, which is the same kind of energy. And then the 58 of the 4 of Swords, which is also for me the card of the connection in the 5D of the twins. And the need for beauty rest in your sleep is also a great time to connect. So take a nap if you need it. Right now you're being called to get plenty of rest anyway. So let's see what the book has to say about this stuff. I'll read you the oyster to see why the oyster's coming out first. Oyster, patient secret keeper, hiding inner treasures. The focus and determination of the oyster is unmatched. And I was just talking about focusing on one thing. Anything an oyster personality puts their mind to, they achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is the oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. They become shy or doubtful, and this can lead to withdrawing or protecting their deepest desires and their life's work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasures. What is it you've been hesitant to share? The world is waiting to see. When in balance, they feel blessed, generous, and masterful. But when they're out of balance, they're reluctant, gripping, and clams up. To bring back into balance, share something. Okay? Because again, this is going into a place of fear. So it's saying when you go into that place of fear like an oyster, then share something with someone to help you open back up again. All right, so for Essential Awakening 64, and this one is, within the sacred temple of your body, your soul experiences the vast buffet of life made manifest. Your sensuality is a way for your soul to express appreciation, pleasure, and joy. Your sensuality is much like your creative energy. It needs to be expressed regularly, otherwise it can become muffled under a fuzz of too much thinking. You're being called to experience your sensual nature again. You are beautiful and vivid, striking and appealing. Allow your sensual appreciation for yourself and others to flow and enjoy this unique experience of being a soul awakened in a body awakening. It's all love. This oracle brings you guidance that your sensual nature needs to play, and it doesn't require an external lover to do so, though that is one way, of course. It can be expressed through massage, creating art, spending time in nature, swimming, dancing mindfully, feeling the sun or air on your skin, drinking aromatic tea, or taking a bath. Play with what feels good for you and enjoy the indulgence. It'll bring you renewed energy, and apart from that, it's fun. The poem reads, I dare not touch my heart's desire that sings a melody so still, and lights within a yearning fire a void that you alone can fill. I cannot say how my heart aches, nor speak the words as embers burn. Such blessings come to those who wait, a love that asks not in return. An open soul a risk must bear to love without restrictions held, to reach another level rare, where two, embraced as one, are meld. To taste surrender's nectar sweet by piercing through the veil so thin, and bathe in joy as tears release, a promised dance begins again. Make sure to drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature. Make sure you get your beauty rest. That's really important right now. And just, allow yourself to be joyful. And do what you want to do. You're the boss. Rise and be love, guys. Take a deep breath. I'll see you soon. Have an amazing day. Bye, guys.